TWsnow.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Episode number 7. How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe and tag your friends and tag 3 friends and I'll give you a fucking bag of bubblegum. However that shit works. I don't know how to do it. I'm not the best at social media, but if your friends like snowboarding, make sure you get them to follow this podcast. The bigger we make this community, the better. I want to give Teslas out. Elon, hit me up. I'm down. You've made my day if you made it this far. If you're on episode 7 of the Airtime podcast and you're tagging your friends and you're hitting me in the DMs with who you want to hear from, you're doing your job. I'm doing mine. I'm bringing you the best guest, Maria Thomsen. Boom. That's our guest for today. Women's Video Part of the Year. Last year with Transworld Magazine. Rest in peace. Jess Camira's project. I'm not 100% sure if she did everything behind this, but I'm pretty sure she did. An incredible all-girls film, The Uninvited. Check that out. Who isn't hyped on Maria these days? Only female invited to X Games Real Snow. Wrap your head around that. Like, they're so exclusive. They only pick 5 or 6 people, however many they pick. I guess a big question I have that I just kind of had an epiphany right now is who the fuck picks all these people? Who works at X Games that has the credibility to pick these people? I'm confused / surprised. Because every once in a while they do pick some pretty heavy hitters. And by heavy hitters, I mean people who are riding the streets properly, tastefully, good trick selection. We've talked about it before. You know, maybe not building 80-foot backcountry jumps in the streets. I mean, if that's your thing, who am I to say you shouldn't do it? It's just that I don't enjoy it. If it takes you 2 days to build the takeoff or the landing, maybe you should find another spot. Maybe I'm stirring the pot. Maybe some of you guys are listening and are like, what? What are you talking about? I love those 48-foot high backcountry jumps in the streets. Me personally, I feel like there's better spots out there that don't need that much shoveling, and poor photographers like Andy Wright are out there shoveling in the cold, having a bad time, talking about maybe you should just do like a nollie front board and we just put some snow, like an appropriate amount, but not so much snow that you need to hire a bobcat, maybe. I mean, for or against the bobcat build. Like, I don't personally ride those features. I do every once in a while build a bigger landing and takeoff, regrettably. I think that if I could do it all over again, I would only ride organic spots. That means spots with natural speed. So no, unless it's Broto. Broto, it's just like this thing where it just looks tight as fuck. 2 homies sling you into the spot. That's always a spot. That's sick. But holding onto an elastic bungee cord, am I the only one? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, that's the stupidest thing ever. That and a winch? When that rope with that giant elastic band falls in the snow in the middle of your in-run and it kind of hangs onto your binding and you're about to do this gap back lip on this kind of gnarly feature, is that not the worst feeling ever? Don't you want to just ride into the spot normally? Adjust your speed accordingly? I know that the whole progression of snowboarding and there's only limited spots, and if you pay all this money to go to Iceland every once in a while, you need to just make do so you can get an article going for whatever magazine. I understand, and I've done it, and I'll probably do it again. I'm just saying that for me personally, I would rather see things. I mean, obviously, thank God there's camera angles, because there's amazing filmers who cut out the bungee and the winch. Thank God it's not 2010 anymore where they slow-mo pulling the winch and the bungee cord back. That was a bad phase. I think we can all agree we don't need to emphasize bungee cords and winches. That's just my 2 cents on that. What do you think? Hit me in the DMs. Maybe you hate me. Maybe you're the winch guy from Saskatoon or Wisconsin, and that's your shit. I'm just saying it's simply a better spot if it's natural speed. Your friends are having a better time. Nobody wants to pull the bungee one more time. in quotations, because it's never one more time. It's always 5:30 p.m. and you're still pulling the bungee. It's a bad time. Maria, on the other hand, back on track. Top 5 kind of shit. I cannot wait to see what this girl films. She's got everything you need to put together a part that people are going to care about. And that is a rarity. She has the gift from all the angles. She's got the work ethic. She's got the style. She's got the right people behind the lens. Let's hope her brands get behind her fully, because we are all excited to see another full part by this girl. I believe she's en route to getting Women's Rider of the Year. We will see. Only time will tell. And who am I to say shit? You know, I'm not a judge. I'm just going by the footy she keeps putting out, and that shit's crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just drove down your lovely road to your sweet house in the middle of nowhere in Pemberton. I feel like I'm in like the most zen place I've ever been.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is definitely amazing. Did you have a lot of creative control with the decor in here? Because, I mean, you guys can't see it, but this place is like, I feel like if the Beatles were to hang out somewhere, this is where they would hang out. This has got the dopest, if you were this is like a pothead's dream. There's a lot of green, it's lush, good comfy couches, super clean. I like the decor on the ceilings. Yeah, it's incredible.
Thank you.
I love what you've done with the place.
Thank you so much.
So how's your summer been so far? What have you been keeping busy doing? I got here and you were doing some gardening.
Yeah, it's been good. I've been working lots too. I work at the Pony in town as a server. And then other than that, I've been so busy doing fun stuff. I've been riding my dirt bike. I got my motorcycle license this year too. And I've been gardening, swimming, hiking. I just feel like every day I have a day off, I try to do something fun.
Well, I mean, I saw you're picking, what was that, pumpkin seeds to plant for next year?
No, that's just sunflower seeds. I like pick all the seeds for next year so I can plant them again.
And you have a dirt bike.
I have a dirt bike, yeah.
What kind of dirt bike do you have?
It's a Yamaha. It's a 250. I just got it
250?
this year. Yeah, it's pretty big.
That's a big boy.
I had a smaller one, and I was like, this thing is just too small. So I got a full-size bike. So I'm learning to.
Do you go on trails here?
Yeah, there's lots of places to go here, and I just went up to Braylorn. Have you been up there?
Braylorn? Yeah, mainly in the winter to go
Yeah,
see Andrew or to go there for a few beers. But I've never gone in the. Oh, I've gone to Gun Lake one time actually.
Yeah, I went up to Gun Lake.
That would be a lot nicer. So for those of people that are just listening, anyways, Gun Lake is past the Hurley, that infamous jump that that road gap that Devin Walsh jumped. He actually did a post about it the other day. I don't know if you saw that, but anyways, on the way to Gun Lake, there is Braylorn, and it is 4x4. I would say it's pretty it's pretty sporty for a truck. When I was taking my truck over, I was like, holy shit. But I mean, given you were on a dirt bike, I feel like that road would be a lot more enjoyable.
No, we actually took my friend's truck, and like we tried to go one Friday after work, and the truck broke down, and then we like ended up like not going that weekend. So then we went back, and the truck broke down again onto Hurley. And we were like, what the fuck?
Wait,
like,
it broke down on the Hurley, so what did you guys do? There's no reception. What, did you guys walk?
No, we went back and then to try to get a tow truck. But anyway, Sandra ended up getting it going again. So then we were like, okay, we like need to go this weekend. So then we went all the way around to Lillooet and did that way. So it was like a little more mellow.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit. I wouldn't say that it's like too crazy to take a truck over. You know, it's pretty mellow, but it's definitely for those older trucks that, you know, might have some problematic things like my truck. Because I took it all the way there for a staff party. Like, I think it was me, E-Man, Chambo, and Derek. And we drove all the way there, and we had E-Man's dirt bike in the back and all of our beers and stuff. And then we got there, and like all of my lights on my dash turned on. It was just like littered with red and orange. I was like, well, that's not good.
It's pretty steep.
And then on the way back, it was all, I think a few more lights turned on. Then we
No
get all the way
way.
back to Whistler. I drop everybody off at home. I go to TD to cash the paycheck I got from painting. This is probably about 6 years. And in the parking lot, I put it in reverse, and it just makes the loudest, like, kerplunk, and my entire back end sinks. Like, shock broke. A bunch of other stuff exploded. Just, it all gave
my
out in the
God.
parking lot. It was like $2,000 to fix.
Fuck.
But luckily, it happened on a staff party trip, and my boss, Dave Dowling, paid for half of it.
What?
Right? Isn't
What
that
a
insane?
champ. Yeah, that's awesome.
I told him at work, and he's like, I'll cover half. I was like, what? So, shout out Double D.
That's sweet.
So then you get over the Hurley, you
Yeah.
fix your car, you get back to town. Did you guys dirt bike for a while down there? Is there some pretty good trails out
There
there?
is this, just the most amazing trails.
I
It
guess-
was so fun.
You're probably pretty far out there.
Yeah.
Like the lakes and everything like that.
Oh, it was just like, I was challenged for sure. I dropped my bike like a million times, and it was so steep, but it was, I just had the most fun. It was so good.
Is trail riding kind of your go-to, or are you getting air out there?
No air so far. I like to explore and trail riding for sure.
Are you impressed with E-Man's dirt biking? Do you follow him?
Oh, yeah.
He gets pretty sporty. Are you doing similar kind of? Obviously, I'm not.
Yeah, but just maybe tone it down like 10 notch or something.
I mean, you are a mom.
Yeah. You're right. But
You
no,
are.
I'm definitely impressed with E-Man's dirt biking.
Nice.
He's
Me
killing
too.
it. Yeah.
I don't know anything about dirt biking, and I mean, you don't post. You should put a GoPro on your head.
Okay, maybe I will.
We were talking about this earlier. Maybe you should focus on your Instagram full time. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Everything you do is for the gram. Because I mean, you're not on social media full time. I wouldn't say you're not like whoring yourself out there.
No, I don't. No, I try to just do mostly snowboarding, but do a post here and there. I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of social media.
I don't blame you. I mean, this is all going to go on social media, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, I think social media could just be like a full-time job for someone, but I like to just live my life and I don't have to post it all. But I know that it's also important to post it, like especially for snowboarding purposes.
Yeah. I mean, who are you riding for right now?
I ride for GNU Salmon Arm 32, Modest. Fuck, I'm definitely forgetting someone.
Union or anything like that?
No, I
Got a
ride for
binding.
Bent Metal.
All right, well, that's pretty. There you go.
I think
Shout
so.
outs to those brands. I mean, if there's somebody else that you're in summer mode right now.
You're right.
They can't be that mad
I
at
haven't
you.
boarded for a while.
I mean, unless you have a 3-year back-to-back contract, you know what I mean, and you forgot them, and they're going to give you a few stickers next year. You can't feel that bad.
You're right. Yeah, I've been a little jealous actually. People going to Australia now, even though I love not like snowboarding for a while, but I see people going there and snowboarding, and yeah, it'd be pretty fun.
Have
as
you ever
well.
done the both seasons, like Whistler for the full 8 and then down south?
Yeah, I did it in 2012, so it's a while ago. It's like kind of before people were like into going down to Australia. I went to Threadbow, not Jindabyne or Perisher.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's where, because when I was growing up, my friend Kevin Griffin, who you know,
Yeah, I know Kevin.
would go there for Style Wars.
Yeah.
And I would always be like, ooh, Style Wars, like maybe one day I'll go there. But I've never went, and then I don't really see the need to in the summer for me anyways.
Yeah.
And then like once it starts snowing here, it's like my stoke to go boarding is so high. But I mean, I am seeing the grams now coming out. These social media people are hammering in like the park lines, and it does look pretty fun.
It looks fun.
That one of the Chomlack kids was posting some lines today.
Oh yeah. he
And on
went.
like the rail kind of zone, and I was really impressed because he's a really good snowboarder, but B, I'm like, whoa, that actually looks like a pretty good time.
Yeah.
I mean,
know.
but dirt biking,
Yes.
are you happy to be dirt biking over snowboarding right now?
Oh, for sure. I almost like when snowboarding ends. Like I love snowboarding, but like as long as there's like snowboarding to do, I feel like I can't do anything else. So I like complete like FOMO when people snowboard if I don't go. So like I just need to, once it's done, and then I know I'm like ready to do summer activities and like,
You clocked out.
yeah. And it's like, I love that too.
Did you rode the glacier quite a bit?
I did.
I gotta say, for the few times you went up there, I saw some clips. I think switch front board pretzel on the kink.
Yeah.
Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
you're a god. Like who does
Thank
that
you.
trick?
I don't know.
Like Yeah, you're incredible. For those people who haven't seen, she's in X Games. I mean, she's the best. She's like, I don't think there's too many girls that are on your level with riding rails and park and stuff. I mean, the way you ride, maybe, I don't know if females are going to hate me for saying this, but it's kind of guy style. You just go in so confident. Like, when I was doing some laps we did this year, and you would just ride into like a switch front nose press, and the way you would go in is like so not timid. It's like full lean switch front nose, like do or die, like, and you do, and it's incredible. You were, I think, filming some stuff with Brockle for that hiatus movie.
Yeah.
That thing was sick.
Thank you.
Did you like the way that came out?
Yeah, I did. We didn't film much, and to be honest, I was like a little bit intimidated filming with Brockle. I never filmed with him before, and I just love everything he does, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah, he's
the best.
Incredible. He's like the Spielberg.
Yeah, for
Quentin
sure.
Tarantino. You know, when he touches something, it's going to be good.
I know.
I was excited to just see him up there filming Park again in the spring.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like, who are you filming? And then I saw him doing laps with you, and I was like, whoa, this is going to be good.
I know. I was a little bit blown
Bryn,
in.
and Dawn, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, you can. Dope Industries made a little edit that was incredible with that trio, and you should check that out. It was called Hiatus, right? Or is that the name of his project that's dropping? What was the name of it again? I forget, but go to Dope, and then there's a post, and it's got that trio, and it's what you want to see in the spring riding. It was perfect. Grainy old film, good style. It was cool for you to be collaborated with those two kids too. It's like it goes both ways. Like it looked good on you, but it looked good on them. It was like you guys all complimented each other really well.
They're both so good. Like, I was just so hyped to be filming with them.
Who's kind of your park guys, right? Who do you think, you ride the park quite a bit? Mm-hmm. You're incredible at it. Who's got your eye in the park right now? You know, who's like some park kids that you're cruising with that you're pretty hyped on these days?
I don't know if I have like any specific crew. I like, cause I come from Pemberton, so I always just like drive by myself, and like every day I'll just like meet someone up there. Like, there's so many homies there, so I always just run into some. I think I kind of like to ride with different people, whoever I run into. This year I have been riding a lot with Sophie, one of the twins. What's her name? Sophie Austin.
Okay.
A little Australian girl. She's killing it. And Brian Bowler, that whole crew. I don't know. I think I just ride with
Whenever I go up there, I always see you, and you are intertwined with like the crew. Whatever crew you're with, I'm like, damn, those kids are like, you guys are getting it.
I don't know. What crew was I in? I can't even remember.
I mean, 10 years ago, it felt like it was you, me, Kevin Griffin, and Derek, and because you and Derek were dating back then. But even before that, I think we were just all cruising the park together. We were just little park rats. That's how I met you.
You guys
I'm
were the
pretty
cool
sure.
kids. I was just kind of like following along.
Oh no, you were hanging. You were the cool kid back then. I think we were like, that's how we met, right? Riding park.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's when you had your purple West Beach pants.
Yeah, that's when I was doing the purple pants.
Yeah.
I actually saw a brand the other day, like some like Sessions or something like that, or some clothing company that's trying to like make a comeback. No. And they had those purple pants with the patches. I was like, what? I did those like 10 years ago.
I remember those so clearly.
It always goes full circle. I wish I would have kept a pair of those. I think Brockle's got a pair.
No way.
I think he might be the only person who has a pair still.
He would.
Him and Wiley Teslo, he lives in Pemberton. You know Wiley?
No.
Good friends with Bo. He had a pair of those. So Wiley, if you have a pair.
Bo lives in Pemberton now.
Yeah, Bo does. And he rode for West Beach for a while too.
Yeah.
So let's get a little background here, because so where are you from?
I'm from Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Denmark, from what I know, because I listen to a lot of TED Talks, is one of the most sought after places to live. People are happy there. And judging by the little dojo that I'm in right now, I mean, is this kind of Denmarky? Because you guys got it going on.
Not really. Denmark is like, it's pretty small. Like, you'll like get from one end to the country to the other in like 3 hours. It's like surrounded by ocean. There's like 3 islands, so like pretty much everything is surrounded by ocean. It's really windy, rainy. There's some farm country. It's pretty well-educated country. Like, when I go home, I'm kind of like a loser. I haven't done any. I'm just snowboarding. So like, That's kind of funny. But like people are super friendly. I'd say they're a little bit how do you say? Like, you know how like Canadians are like open-minded and they talk to anybody, like everybody, where Danish people, like if you go to Denmark, they like probably won't talk to you unless they know you.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're kind of cliquey.
A little bit. Like they're really nice when you get to know them, but just like don't talk to strangers.
So you grew up in Denmark, and when did you come to Whistler?
I came to Whistler when I must have been 19. I was in business school at that time, business college, and I just took like a holiday because like 3 of my Danish friends went to do a season in Canada, and I was like, what's even in Canada?
Yeah,
I had no
right?
idea. I like hadn't snowboarded anything. I was just like, that's kind of sound a lot more fun than going to business college. So I like took like a 2 weeks break from school and came over, bought a snowboard, and like just like started
Wait, you
snowboarding.
learned how to snowboard when you came here?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I did. They like took me in the park, and like I was like one of those like idiots that was going off to jump and completely knuckling, like, and they just thought like I was like, they were just all laughing at me, and I just thought I was so cool. Like, it was terrible. But I had so much fun. So then I went back, finished business school, and then 2 years later, I ended up coming back here. That was 2008.
Oh, okay, I feel like I didn't meet you at the first time when you were knuckling all the jumps.
No, definitely not.
No,
Like,
because when the first few
You would've
years
been
I
like,
was
"Who the
riding
fuck's
with you,
that
I remember
idiot?"
being like, there's a girl that's pretty good at riding park. Or at least it was clicking, because every time I'd see you riding, I would always notice that there would be a lot of improvements.
yeah.
And I mean, still to this day, I mean, like we were saying before we started recording here, it seems to be one of those things where you keep getting better with time. I think
Yeah.
both of us have been like getting better at our things.
Well, you've been like had the best style since I met you, like many years ago.
I would disagree, but I
Okay,
mean,
well.
I like your style a lot, and I'll take a compliment when I can get one.
There you
So
go.
I mean, if there you go, thank you very much.
I'm a big fan.
Likewise
Thank you.
big fan, especially when it comes to like female snowboarding. I feel like you're bringing such an element that's maybe it's not there. It's just like you're filling a nice piece of the pie. Like there's a niche there and you're filling it. It's like with your style, even the way that you don't like love social media and you're not like whoring yourself out, and you have like a really classy presence on the internet, and you really do let your riding speak for itself. It's kind of one of those things that you're not like, check me out. But then your stuff comes out and you switch front board pretzel a kink, and then you, I think it was it front board pretzel or switch front board pretzel?
Switch
Your
front
ender
board
on the
pretzel.
closeout.
Switch front board press.
Yeah, like I don't know like anyone who would want to do that trick on that spot. That was yeah. I mean, you were filming for X Games at that
Yeah.
point. Did you feel how was that? How was filming for X Games?
That was
Let's dive
crazy.
into that.
I don't know. I went into it like pretty chill, but then I broke my hip the first week, and then things turned out not to be so chill because I was like debating pulling out because I was like thought I was gonna do like a rehab, like, oh, I got invited to X Games and I broke my hip, so now I'm just at the gym or doing yoga, whatever. So I didn't think I was gonna do any snowboarding until I don't know, after Christmas. Sometimes I was kind of almost walking normal, and I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna go try. So me and Dave like flew back to Quebec, and I was just like going into it, like I had no idea if I could snowboard really. I could barely walk, so we had like a little less time, but it was pretty stressful.
Oh, you can snowboard, that's for sure. You got it going on. That was a sick. I mean, you were in X Games, and you're the only female, and then it's all other males. It's like, I was like, shit. Like
I don't
I would
know
have been.
how that happened.
I would love an invite, but like.
Yeah, well, I don't know how my name came up there. I have no idea.
I'm just kidding. I don't need an invite to that. But I mean, your name came up because
You guys
it's
call
like
Jody
you're
next
riding
year.
you're riding the park, and you're better than all the guys you're riding with. And I mean, like, there's a lot of girls that are like better than the guys I ride with or whatever. But like, you bring that element of like really enjoyable style, which like I even hear that from like the right people too. It's not just like, you know, the people that I respect, who I would say like have a lot of like respect, at least in my eyes, from filming countless video parts and doing the right things, are the people that are like, yo, have you checked that girl's footage? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been watching her snowboard for 10 years.
Wow.
So it's been a really enjoyable thing to watch you go from, like I said, I missed you knuckling all the jumps.
Totally.
But like going from 50-50s, and I'm pretty sure, were you wearing like giant Tech 9 outerwear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like riding this old Tech 9 board with like, I don't know what it's called. I just had chains on. I had gold Tech 9 bindings. Huge, like the hugest analog outfit.
It was. I do remember that.
God.
Well, I mean, I was on Tech 9, so I mean, that was dope.
Yeah, I was
probably
Tech
hyped.
9.
Tech 9 definitely had a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Moment of Truth, and then that. Did you ever watch One Love?
Yeah.
That movie?
Yeah.
I loved that movie. The
It's
soundtrack and everything like that, that was like the tip I was on that year. I was like, this is what I relate to.
For sure. It had its time. Well, it's still good, but like it was definitely at a good time.
Yeah. Are you happy with what you put out with X Games?
Yeah, I think so. Like
I mean, you did, like you said, you were coming off of an injury. Do you feel like if you didn't have that, I bet you could have filmed something even better, and that would have been like a masterpiece, because your part it was already a standout amongst the crowd. And I mean, being the only female, that must have made you feel pretty good getting invited to that.
Yeah, for sure. I was pretty stoked when they called me. But I think everybody who puts out the video part always think they can do better, and I definitely had hoped for maybe a bit better. But I was also just really relieved that it was over, and I came out like.
It's a stressful. I can only imagine. I haven't been in one of those situations where it's like, because snowboarding's supposed to be this thing you're doing just for fun.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But when you commit to something like filming an X Games project, you know that there's so many eyes on the project. You know there's like all your brands are watching it. You also know it's a huge opportunity to like showcase your riding. And if you do well, there's, being a mom and stuff like that, there's like a lot of benefits that could come with if you film a good part. And I mean, then you do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So did that part take you any places with your brands? Are you happy with like the outcome for filming with X Games? I mean, I feel like it got you a lot of clout in like more than, because you're a big name, huge name in like Canada, especially in Vancouver, but that kind of put some global eyes kind of on you.
Yeah, I think so. I really thought too much about it. If I'm happy with the outcome, I was just like stoked to do it. I was just so pumped.
I mean, riding away from that switch front board pretzel, you must have been like, damn, I'm good. Like, my hip is fucking better, and I am amazing at snowboarding.
I was stoked, but like it was on the last day, and like I was like looking for an ender, and then Dave Walser, my filmer, was trying to get me to, this is ridiculous, but he was trying to get me to go to the ender Jay Cusick has in, is it, not Deja Vu, it's in, he does like a board, it's like, what's the movie? Encore. It's ender in that, do you remember
The gap lip slide on that kink?
No, that's not his ender.
Oh.
His ender's on that, it's in Saguenay, in like north of Quebec, and he does like a...
Oh, the nose slide pop over into the bank?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that thing is insane.
Yeah, that thing is ridiculous. But like Dave like had this idea that I was going to go do a
front board
switch front board pretzel on that thing. And I was like, I hadn't even seen it in real life, and I was just like, he kept showing me the footage, and then he called all of our friends and like, do you think Maria can do this? And like people like, some of them like, oh yeah, for sure. And somebody was like, what? That's like Air Jordan to like... to like
it is like Air Jordan.
Air Jordan. And I was just like, my stomach was like hurting. I was like, Dave, I don't know. And like he just kept talking about it, and I was like, I'm like, dude, I want to walk out of here alive. So I ended up like, I didn't even see it in real life. I was just like, that shit looked too like, I'm not gonna go one up Jay Cusick. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you should go one up Jay Cusick. That would be dope.
So it like almost felt like a little disappointing, my end, because I didn't go to that spot. But
it was not a disappointment.
Regardless.
I mean, yeah. That ender is like we kind of had a little discussion before we turned on these mics, but I don't watch every edit now, but like obviously when the X Games edits come out, I would like want to watch them. I mean, Spencer's and stuff like that. There's certain people I want to see.
Yeah, well, you want to watch your friends.
Yeah,
too,
totally.
like,
and I want to watch my friends. So I was blown away that you were in it, because I'm super happy that you were in it, but I was almost surprised it wasn't a 50-50 thing, or they just didn't have a women's category.
Yeah.
But the fact that there was just one girl and 6 guys, I was like, that's kind of a weird dynamic.
Totally.
I mean, do you agree that was kind of weird?
Yeah. I also had no expectation of winning. I was like, I obviously don't have a chance, but I was just...
should they have a female section and just have 6 females, do you think? Or do you think that they should just have an equal amount and just have like it judged?
It'd be really cool to see 6 females, I think, and see like what they could actually do.
I think so too. I think that would be sick. Because you guys get some budget for it, right?
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see how like women could push it too. Like,
exactly.
Because you do get pushed to a limit a bit. So
I mean, especially if you get put in an all guys category where you're like, oh, okay, like these guys have done like. I mean, some of those dudes have filmed some pretty mind-blowing video parts in the past. And, I mean, you held your own being with those. And that's not even you being a girl and being like, well, let's give her the benefit of the doubt here. It's like, no, you held your own and looked like, I mean, yeah. Which I thought was really good to, like, let females know that it's like, you can ride as uniquely as you want and you can still be the one to, like, shine even in a group, like, amongst a bunch of guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So who are some of your favorites growing up? Like, how did you get this style thing put in your head? Because clearly that's important to you, the way you ride and stuff like that. It's really easy to watch. Like, who are some people that inspired you to ride the way you ride?
Well,
females or male?
Well, growing up, or like when I started to snowboard, I was like, there was so many good people in Whistler to look at, and especially like hanging out with you guys and looking at the Gypsy Mob videos was pretty cool. Like, I was just like, I didn't know anything. Like, so I really liked those movies. And then I remember like Bradshaw and Gunnar, like I was obviously like into like the baggy and the hip hop and
oh, me too.
All that.
Those
I love
were
that.
my faves.
Yeah, but like things you're changing too, and so is the style in snowboarding. And like I always enjoyed like videographs and Lane treated. Like I love him so much.
I love Lane.
Lane's my favorite. I did dope movies. Like, there's like I just get inspired by like other snowboarders. I think.
I guess like if you came into this, like you said, and you didn't even snowboard back home, you come all the way across, and you snowboard for like 2 weeks, go back, get your business degree, come back because you enjoyed snowboarding so much. And then kind of ran into, I think that like our crew kind of just hung out with you all the time.
Yeah.
For at least 2 or 3 years there. And our whole crew was just like, I mean, especially growing up, like looking up to Andrew and Kevin, it was like they were just, that was all they were about. Like the skaters with the best style, the snowboarders with the best style. It's like, that's all it's about.
Yeah.
But they also were really gnarly.
Yeah,
so it was
totally.
It was like a really good, at least for me looking up to it. I remember Kevin would always tell me when I'd go to Super Park, I was like, well, I don't want to screw up or like hit the jump and like fly off the side and stuff. And he looked at me one time. He's like, are you a sketch? And I was like, no. He's like, you're not a sketch. Don't be a sketch. Sketchy people do that. And I was like, that's been in my head since 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like riding into anything gnarly is like, you're not a sketch. Are you a sketch? Like, you're going to just catch your edge here and fall? I don't know. So but
you guys had a pretty like high standard too, so I always like kind of like try to keep up with that. I remember like Derek teaching me some things about like legends in snowboarding and like what you could and couldn't do, like he's like, I was like, that was really good, and he's like looking at me, he's like, Mary, that was so whack. Like what the like he was definitely giving me lessons, so I don't know if like
this is Demo.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys dated for, I forget how long, but I mean, Derek's definitely like, he's obsessed with snowboarding, especially style, because he grew up with Griff and Jeeves too. So the same kind of dynamic. So, I mean, if you were dating him and you were like susceptible to all this like new information, he's going to be like, obviously he's going to ingrain in your head, like Gypsy Mob, dope. Like, like that's just what he was about or still is about.
You taught me well, I guess.
I mean, if I taught you anything, you've done everything right. So congratulations, you've done it.
Thank you.
And are you as focused this year and excited to film this year snowboarding as last year? Or is it like one of those things where you're kind of like, oh, well, I'm looking forward to new things. I'm going to start a garden or whatever. Or are you kind of like hungry because you just came off of filming an incredible X Games part?
No, I'm pretty hungry. I have a few things. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm filming for, but neither did I last year. I think I was like home in Denmark when I got the call and like people already started. I think I'm pretty fired up about this year. I only filmed for X Games for like 3 weeks last year, and then I didn't film any of my video parts. I just like had fun, went to events, and like actually just snowboarded for me. So it's been a while since I've been filming anything, so I'm pretty
So
stoked to do it
if
again.
you are a production company in snowboarding, which
Mm-hmm.
would be mind-blowing because I think there's only one and it's Absinthe left. Maybe there's somebody. But like, hit this girl up. Let's get her in a project. She's got a friend named Dara. Let's get her in there. And I mean, throw Jess in there. Everyone wants to see another part by
Oh,
Jess.
I want to film with Jess so bad.
So she's done a lot for female snowboarding and
Yeah.
a lot in the right direction.
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, there's some, there's a few contest girls that I feel like really help other contest girls, but there's not a lot of girls filming video parts.
No.
There's a small group of you guys.
There is, yeah.
And I think that it's time that there's a new video and you guys are all a part of it. I mean, the uninvited thing was awesome. It's too bad that that didn't keep going, but that was mainly all Jess.
Jess has actually talked about making another movie.
That would be awesome. She should.
I don't know if she is or what.
Was it enjoyable to film for the uninvited project? Was that
Yeah,
fun?
I love that. It was really good dynamics and good team. It was really fun.
I know. We went to your premiere and I was like, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
I mean, it was so good for female snowboarding to have younger girls look up to like, oh, there actually are girls that exist that are like this. The only scene, because the contest scene in female snowboarding to me seems like 90% of it.
Yeah.
Where in male snowboarding, the contest scene is like 20% and then there's like mainly video parts. Or maybe that's a bad number, 60-40 or something like
Maybe,
that. But
yeah.
in female, it's so dominant, I would
Yeah,
say,
it's
in
like
girls just in contests.
Really small.
Or
amount
at
of
least the
girls.
girls that are getting paid and stuff like that. And I think that it should be a little bit more. I mean, I'm all for it. I want you ladies to get paid.
Thanks,
Let's
yeah,
get some more
amen.
Pterodactyluses back here and stuff like that, rolling in the money and whatever. Janamayan. She had like this big air to board slide on a big flat box, but it was maybe I've always loved board slides, so I'm like Janamayan
Board
and
slide.
Pterodactylus's board slide off that cliff with Kevin Jones. They set up like a rail off of a cliff.
I know.
I don't know if you've ever seen that clip, but it's fucking epic.
Yeah, I came in a bit later than them. Like I feel like when I started watching Girls Snowboarding, it was like the Peep Show days. Actually,
Oh,
Dara,
okay.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and like
yeah, Peep
Jess
Show.
and Desiree when they were all like
Yeah.
at their peak or comment like. Right
Desiree's
there.
another girl that's amazing.
Yeah,
like
she's-
even her cover that she just had was crazy.
I
My
know.
friend Mark O'Malley, he's a staff photographer for K2, shot that photo and her plant. I was like, whoa,
I know.
that
That
was
was-
epic.
So sick. Yeah, she's dope. She has really good style.
So how did you get involved in filming? Like what was the filming? What was the start, the introduction?
Like I think I was inspired by you guys for sure because you had started filming for the Dope movies. Was that?
Yeah, I would have been like Sandbox, Dope Movies, 8
Yeah,
Mile
you guys were
movies.
always away on film trips, and then at the time I was dating Samuel, which is Teo's dad, and he really wanted to get into filming. And like we were in California, and I remember he bought like a bungee, and like he was like, "Let's go film and do all this." We bought a camera too, and I remember trying to bungee, and I was like, "This is not gonna work." Like I couldn't figure it out. I just kept flying off the,
The
ground.
bungee
with
is
straight
the-
arms. Like I had no idea
Are
what I
you
was
pro
doing.
bungee or anti bungee?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Natty speed.
Derek one time told me, this is probably about 6 years ago, he's like, if the spot isn't organic, it's not a spot. And that literally stuck with me. I was like, I think I've bungeed into like 3 more spots since then. But like in my head, I'm like, I want to be able to ride into a feature, not holding a wakeboard rope, and then let go 8 feet before the feature and then fly into a metal obstacle. To me, it's like,
Totally.
you're not even really snowboarding. It's almost just more like stunting at that point.
I know. I totally agree. Like the same with like a winch or something. Like I've done it a few times, but like it takes like a bit of the element out of like the street snowboarding, I think. It's just like not what I really necessarily want to be seeing. I want to
No.
see like the natural way, the good, like not
Lewitt's
people.
really good at finding like natural, like he goes to Japan and he finds spots with hills and then builds like pump bumps and stuff. But then from the start to the finish, he's like snowboarding. He's
Yeah.
not like holding on to this obstacle, this thing. Because as soon as you're holding onto a rope, you're not snowboarding. So you're only really snowboarding when you let go of that rope.
Yeah.
And then typically when you let go of the winch or the bungee, you have like 8 feet before the takeoff. It's insane.
I know. But yeah, I'm definitely anti-bungee, anti-winch. I don't like that.
So when did Too Hard come into the picture? Because that would have been when you went down to the States then?
Yeah, like when I was in California for a few months, I met this girl Fancy who was really good friends.
Fancy?
Fancy, that's her
Sick.
name. Anyway, she was filming for the Too Hard movies, and she was like, "Hey, like you should send your footage." Like, cause I went out to like a spot with her, didn't get a clip at all, but she was like, "If you get any clips, send them to Danielle. Like, we want you to be a part of it." And I was like, "All right, well maybe I could start filming." So I think like the year after I went to Montreal to try to film like, not a part. I thought I could film a part in like, what was it, every 2 weeks, but I got like, I don't know, 2 or 3 shots.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If
If you go on a 2-week trip and you come home with 5 shots, that's a great trip.
And also I had no idea what I was doing, I was like taking a bus around with like shovels, camera, and like, it was like me, Samuel, and my friend Cynthia. And Cynthia like broke her collarbone the first day. So it was just us, like, it was ridiculous.
I love this.
You
were just making it happen.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't like, but I sent my clip to the Too Hard movie and like, they were terrible, but whatever. It was kind of what got it started. And then the next year.
And was Too Hard since day one Danielle's project? And Danielle's Jib Girl 420, I think it's Jib Girl 330 now or something like that. She changed it from the not full dope thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even actually follow her anymore.
Did she start the whole Too Hard thing, or is it like a collection, like a group of girls?
I think she started it.
Okay.
Yeah, she was definitely the one behind. Like, she did all the editing and she did everything. It was
I like those things.
Yeah, it was kind of
Like,
her brand. I used to watch them and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, sick.
Yeah, I was down for sure.
Me too. I was like kind of making a joke before being a part of it, and I was like, we should make a movie called Even Harder, or like something like, or just like, it was kind of a joke. I thought it was like a bit of a joke, but it was also kind of fun, and like I was just like hyped that it was like girl snowboarding, really.
Exactly, with like a bunch of like trap rap too.
Yeah, it was some interesting things in those movies.
I was down there. What about her? Did you guys click really well, or are you guys close, or?
She came to Canada. She was like, oh, hey, I'm coming to ride there.
Because she was dating Kai.
No,
right?
she met Kai.
Oh,
she met
okay.
Kai when she came. I'd never met her before. I was just like friends with her on Facebook or whatever. That's how we chatted. And so she came and stayed at my house for a little bit and we were filming like some spring edit clips or something like that. It was really fun. Like, it was pretty cool because it was me, Dara, and her, and like we just like hiked all day and filmed all day, and like I was like just so stoked there was other girls that was like into that.
I feel like I remember seeing you guys doing this on the
we're hiking
glacier.
all day.
It was like really impressive to see like what you guys were doing. I was like, "Whoa, they're like pushing it right now."
Yeah, I was so stoked. I was like, this is awesome. Like, because I never really had like a crew of like, or especially with girls that like wanted to like, I'm like willing to put in like
Time.
Yeah, I was like just like wanted to do it. So it was like pretty cool to have someone that wanted to do it with me.
Yeah, you were always with like a bunch of homies. I feel like that was the first time when you were doing the whole Too Hard thing.
Yeah.
And then you and Dara seemed like you guys were getting kind of close at that point. But before that, you were always just rolling with homies.
Yeah, for sure. I never filmed before that. I don't think so.
And then, so Dangy,
We started...
best friends ever after that edit in up at...
No, we
on the
kind
glacier?
of... We butted heads a little bit, I think. We filmed a bit after. We tried to film some street together, but we didn't really get along.
You guys seem like you're like you don't love social media. Her whole life revolves around social media. I follow her, and she's definitely she's doing that.
It is crazy to see where she have taken her social media account. I mean, good for her. I think she has like however many followers, I think. But I don't know. It's not like she's not representing what I want to represent in snowboarding with like, I don't know. I don't know if she dumped them out, but like, I don't need to look like a porn star and like, be like, I don't know. I just think it's the wrong image to give people. She can do whatever she wants to do, but it's just like, it's just It's sort of the whole social media that's just like sad to see. She does some good snowboarding.
Yeah, she's like a pretty sick boarder.
Regardless, I don't think she's doing everything the right way, but each their own.
Exactly. To each their own. But I mean, dang, he's definitely not chill. I mean, like, there's no way, even sitting face to face to her right now, I would be like, there's no way, you're not a chiller. Like, it's like you don't go to the skate park with a filmer and film you twerking in front of an 8-year-old boy.
I always wondered about that. I always wondered, I was like,
she knows she's not.
Who's filming this?
Yeah, she must have a filmer.
Well, I don't know.
There must be some guy who's obsessed with her that's just like, there's probably some guy who has the biggest crush on her that just does anything for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like,
She's like, meet me at the skate park at 8. I've got the perfect outfit.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, whatever. I hope she's happy doing what she's doing. It's like, it's just the fact that like that whole like sex get involved with snowboarding and like sex sells and like Instagram followers and that whole scenario. Just like, I don't agree with it. But like, I mean,
no, I think
everybody does it.
I think it's going to go full circle. It's like, yeah, you got those followers, but like, I don't know how many followers you have, because I don't know that thing, but like however many you have, yeah. I'm assuming you have like 10,000 or something.
I think I'm under
okay.
10.
Okay, whatever you have, those people follow you because they are so excited to see your snowboarding, and they watch it and they love it. They like your style. They know what companies you ride for. It means something to those followers, but like, when you have 100,000 followers and 90% of them are following you because you're just entertaining, it's like, are those people really susceptible to buying, like, you ride for GNU, like, go buy a GNU board? I mean, like, 90% of those people probably don't even live somewhere where there's a mountain. And they don't even, they're just like, want to see your butt. And there's 90% of just creepy dudes who just that all play Call of Duty online, and they're just like, when are we going to get to see Thomsen's butt again? It's
oh
like,
my God.
You know what I mean? Where like your followers are actually like, yo, that switch front board pretzel was insane.
Yeah.
So it's like, which one's more impactful? And I think the right brands, and hopefully you collaborate with the right brands, and then it just won't matter. Maybe that's...
I think you just have to like, I don't know, for me, I just have to be like, stay true to myself. And I think that, Instagram isn't always staying true to yourself, because Instagram is like, comes out as this, or social media comes out as this like perfect picture of your life. Like, you don't post like the shitty parts. Like, I'm not posting like Teo having like a tantrum here, because nobody want to watch that. So you always post like the fun times, the perfect time. And I think that, so like, it's not really totally true to who you really are, but like,
it's not.
I'm not gonna sell myself for like, and like show my boobs or something like that. And like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous to me.
You mean you have class?
Yeah.
Which is totally fine, and which a lot of people are into and respect. And I think that that's gonna take you places. I mean, yeah, it's gonna take you to a full project this year. Can't wait to see it. Snowboarder Meg Bridges, let's do this. Let's get her on a project with whoever you want, really. You should just pick 10 girls and you guys should go travel the world, and everyone should support it.
With Jess Kimura.
Yeah, with Jess. Jess can be the team captain. She can teach you guys how to build everything, because she learned everything from Ben, so she just knows everything.
I love that girl. She's the best.
Her and Ben are like, they could almost like, they should have like a snowboard event. And they should do the whole, like, they should bring everyone together and invite all the riders and shape all the features. And I don't know who would put it on. Maybe she could like get Monster to throw down like $400,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jess, line that up. You could have like a super park, but you could call it like Jess and Ben, invites only. It could be like Peace Park that Danny Davis has, but like...
I got invited to that this year.
You got invited to Peace Park?
Yeah.
What? That's awesome. Why didn't you go?
I was going to, I think, Super Park at the time. Either Miss Super Park, or I was going to It's Tits, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I had something going on.
Who's your favorite girl out right now?
Oh, I like Jill Perkins. I like her style a lot.
Yeah. I like Jill Perkins a lot too. She's incredible. I've met her on and off for the last 2 years. Every time I see her, I'm like, you are very enjoyable to be around.
Yeah, she's
a nice person. She's got like those classic morals or whatever. Seems really polite. She gives everybody the time of day. But she's also kind of got that similar... You and Jill Perkins should film a part together. I don't know how we could make that happen.
We've been talking about it.
Yo, Maybe Adidas. Boom, put her on. Let's get some pro model boots. I mean, maybe we can flip you onto Vans real quick. I don't know. That would be an epic video.
That would be pretty fun.
I think that would be really enjoyable. I mean, I just saw her do a board slide on a skateboard on this like flat down, like long down flat rail.
Yeah,
she's an incredible skateboarder
she's
too.
She's a sick skater, yeah.
I mean, you do moto. You guys should have a fucking what's it called? The reality TV show together.
Oh, no.
Everything you've never
Definitely
wanted in
not.
one thing.
No. It's actually
Do you watch reality TV shows?
No.
Those are so bad for people. It's insane.
I know. I used to watch I watched a little bit of the peak seasons.
Oh, peak season. See, that's epic. I thought you were going to say the Kardashians. And I was,
No. I have no idea what.
Peak season's dope. It's like the worst reality TV show to ever came out. It's so grungy and like not sick at all. So it's actually kind of epic. Uh-huh. I'm actually in the background of peak season like 2 or 3 times, taking shots and
Oh,
garfs.
yeah? Nice.
Yeah, that's probably where you recognized me.
Probably,
first.
yeah. I was like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Back?
Yeah.
I've actually had this guy from Denmark contact me after X Games, and he was like, wanted to do a documentary on me, like it was from a Danish channel, and I was like, I don't know if that's me. So then I was like, I should probably just say yes to it because I'll challenge myself and just do it. But we like had like a conversation, and he represented it to some of the channels at home, but they all like declined. They were like, sorry, like she needs to sell herself more or something like that. So I was like, I don't know, sorry, I'm not that interesting. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty happy it didn't happen because that would have been so stressful for me because I don't really like those things. I just kind of was like, the opportunity is there. I should probably
That's
say
been
yeah.
an ongoing sentence, I think, in almost every episode so far is every snowboarder really emphasizing like, I don't want to be anybody but who I am. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing worse than like selling your soul or not even selling your soul for this instance. You were actually down to do this production, but you're not going to be like, I'm going to pretend I'm all bubbly and just like the funnest person to be around 24/7 because I'm like, I want to be in this TV show.
Totally.
You're like, if you're really interested in me and you want to do it, this is who I am and I'm
Yeah.
not going to fake it.
No.
Hopefully you're interested in doing it. And if you're not, there you go. That's who I am.
Yeah.
No? Okay, I'm out.
For sure. Yeah. I thought it was funny.
So you never ended up doing it?
No, he said they all
fuck 'em.
declined. Whatever.
Danish TV, we want to get you on CBC.
You're right.
There we go.
No, I'm good. I don't know. I don't like to be in front of a camera anyway, unless I'm snowboarding.
Yeah, you're not camera shy at all if you're snowboarding, but talking, it's not your favorite on camera.
No.
I don't mind. When I do it though, I can tell that I have to like drop into. I feel something in my head go like you're being filmed, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? So I immediately am not being myself. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I'm being filmed. I should pick up this drink and chug it. Like I don't think I would do that now. I'd probably think the opposite. I'd be like, I'm being filmed. I should just not do anything. But then that's not authentic either. So then it doesn't matter. If someone's filming me, I'm not being myself.
Oh.
The outcome is always like, fuck, it's just like, do you want to look away?
Yeah.
You know?
When MacDog was filming me which was already intimidating, MacDog filming you for X Games, I like had a glass of water and I chucked it like super fast and then like.
Wait, I didn't know this. MacDog was filming you?
Yeah, he came out to like help and film and did the interviews.
Like the MacDog?
The MacDog, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
My snowboard nerd just went through the fucking roof. I just watched The Resistance this morning, which is
No.
one of my favorite MacDog movies. Yeah, that guy's the biggest legend ever. He's made like 15 movies that are all the best.
Yeah.
He's literally shaped snowboarding.
Yeah,
So
I know. So
he-
him trying to interview you is just like the most intimidating thing you can imagine.
The weird thing is I've never heard anybody say anything about him. Like I've never heard anybody go like, he's the dopest dude ever, or like he's the worst. So I actually just don't have an opinion in my head other than he's made some of my favorite snowboard videos for like 2 decades.
Yeah, he's like has definitely done it for a while, and he knows what he's doing. Like, but it was funny because when we did the interview, he was like, "Do you need a drink? Is your mouth dry?" And I was like, "Maybe." Like I was so nervous. Like I just
Obviously.
like. Oh, it was so, yeah, like, he came out and helped us while we were snowboarding, too, and we're filming and stuff. It was pretty funny. One day we got up at 5 o'clock to the spot, and it was, like, so windy, and we had, like, build this like huge kicker like to like drop in on, and like it was a huge build, and we didn't even know if it was gonna work. But it was like the first day he was there, and like just didn't want to blow it. I think I like smoked a pack of cigarettes before he got there at like 7 in the morning, and I was just like, I bought a torch, and like we're just trying to like
Chain smoking.
seem like super professional. But this whole time it was also kind of just me and Dave, and then that day Dara and Cody had came and helped.
Nice.
But I don't know what he thought. I was just like, I didn't know if I seemed professional or whatnot.
Oh, he's probably seen it all.
Probably,
you're
right.
He's worked with Bozung, so I mean,
You're right.
he's not like someone who hasn't seen it all.
Totally. I just was like, I was probably freaking out. For no
I
reason.
think that. So did you end up getting a clip
I
with
did,
him?
yes.
Oh, sick.
It was on the flat power
So you have a
line.
clip with Mac Dog.
Yeah, I did.
So what do people call Mac Dog? Do they call him like Dogger? Because I feel like whenever JP gets interviewed, he's like, me and Dogger. I don't know.
No,
Or did you just call him Mac? Or
I don't know.
Yo, Mac Dog Productions, what up?
No, I don't think you call him Mac Dog. I remember we did make a lot of dog jokes before he was there, but when he was there, we were pretty like quiet.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that was one for the books.
I'm envious. I filmed some clips with Anthony Vitale, who in my eyes is like he didn't do all the productions, but he filmed a lot of epic shots. I'm trying to get him on the podcast right now, so stay tuned for an Anthony Vitale podcast. He filmed a bunch of like all the old forum stuff, and he was the DC filmer for like
Did you get
7,000 years.
Did you
I've
see-
got some clips with him before.
Okay.
But when we were getting clips, he wasn't enjoying himself because it was minus 40 in Quebec, and I was trying the exact same back blunt 270 on this like gap to flat rail. Mm-hmm. And I think I did it like 6 times. And he was like, I'm pretty sure your first one's the best. Like, maybe, I think we're good. And I was like, no, like.
Keep going.
And he asked me to come watch it. He's like, do you want to watch it? I was like, no, like I know that I didn't do it the way I want to do it, so I'm going to keep doing it. And I must have tried for another 3 hours. And sure enough, we go back and I'm pissed that I didn't get it the way I wanted to get it. And we review the footy.
Yeah.
And the first one that I landed, the one that he said to come watch,
Yeah.
is exactly the way I wanted to do it.
No
and we
way.
used it. And he gave me the hardest time. He's like, buddy, I've been filming for 15 years. The next time I tell you to come look at the shot, come look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Oh,
so.
it feels like a story of my life. I always keep going to like, I'm always at a spot for hours.
Me too. Are you like a get your trick kind of quick person,
No,
or you have
never.
to hustle? You have to work hard for it.
I hustle for all day.
Yeah, me too.
Like, till this point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get it. And then,
But are you like this? See, the way I am is I get to the spot, I come up with this trick in my head. I'm like, okay, I want to do this trick. I try the more simple version of it, first. So like if I want to try like a tail 270, I would try like a tail slide once. And within the first 3 tries, I lock on and almost do it exactly how I wanted to do it. It's perfect, but I just had a little bit of laziness and I was kind of unprepared for such a good lock that I didn't really try 100%. But then I think that it's like one of those things that it's going to be over in like the next 5 tries. So I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
And then it's like 5 hours later and I still haven't came that close
sounds
again.
familiar.
I don't want to say this for too long because then maybe no one's going to want to film me next year. So
Oh, I'm sure.
I've been working on my first try stuff.
Yeah, it never
Yeah.
happened for me. I'd like it to.
I heard
Soon.
Jed's one of those people that just goes and does like 85 tricks and then he's like, fuck, I guess I'll use like 7 of those because I did 85 tricks.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's pretty talented.
He is, definitely.
Whose video parts are you most hyped on these days? Do you even watch video parts? Do you watch everything that comes out, or do you just kind of save it for the movies?
No, I don't watch anything that comes out at all. I like to watch my friends, or if there's some big movies that there's just so much, especially with like social media. It's just instant, and the bigger movies for sure, and my friends' parts, I'll watch them. But
I'm the exact same way.
I
really am.
can't keep up anymore.
I'll watch all my friends, and then I'll watch the main videos that came out. So but like, I still have that old school mentality where I'm like, I'm waiting for all the videos to come out.
Yeah.
And then I watch all the videos, and then I watch the ones I like a bit more. And then throughout the year, I only click on full parts of like friends.
Yeah.
Or if there's something that's getting shared so much that you're just like, okay, what's going on? Like this guy clearly did something that's epic.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it. But you can't watch everything that comes out now because especially that September 1st comes around, September, October, November, December, January, until like April, there's full parts coming out.
I know.
And you've never heard of any of these names. And a lot of them are probably sick.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
until it's getting shared by like the people I follow, it's just like hard for me to ever want to click on.
I know.
Which is shitty because I feel like, I want to watch everything and give everybody like the time of day, but it's tough. Or if you click on it and in the first like 30 seconds they aren't doing what you want to watch, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just really hard to stay up with on top of all of it. But there's always like, you have your favorites. You're always going to watch those. Like Danimals comes out with anything, I'll watch that for sure. Like,
well, he's the best.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Oh, nice. I bet you we have the exact same taste in snowboarding.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, probably everybody likes Danimals.
I mean, yeah, if you don't like Dan snowboarding, then fuck you.
Get out.
If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. That's from a Will Ferrell movie. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh my God, really?
Well, probably, but just...
Well, yeah. Talladega Nights.
I have seen that.
Yeah. It's when he's going through all of his sponsors and like the mechanic kind of...
I have bad memories.
Anyways.
I won't remember that, but...
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I don't think so.
With the new Leonardo DiCaprio, Quentin
No,
Tarantino movie?
I have not.
I'm going to go see that tonight.
Oh, it's
I
in
bet
the
you a
movies.
bunch of people right now are like, duh, because it's been out for like a month. But apparently it's incredible.
Okay, I want to watch it. I don't
should
go
go
to
see
movies
it.
very often.
But we don't have to go together.
Okay.
But like we could.
All right.
Right on. Do you like or do you care about the female state of snowboarding? Do you have an opinion on it? Do you not even waste your energy on it? Or does it frustrate you that there's not enough girls on the teams and like enough opportunity and budgets going towards you guys? Like, how do you feel about female snowboarding today?
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten that question quite a lot after the Uninvited movie. And I think the Uninvited movie came at a pretty good time. There was like we needed like the attention to go towards that, but I personally don't feel very political in that whole conversation. I think that obviously we have to pay attention to our female riders and we have to pay them too and have them included. But for me, I just like to snowboard. I'm not huge into. I don't want to be super involved in the conversation about it. I just like to like film my video parts, let it speak, and then I support younger girls. Support not only younger girls, just support girls that are killing it in snowboarding. It's good to see, but I just think it's not like I don't feel very opinionated about it, which sometimes it almost makes me feel bad because I think it's really important to have these girls that speak up for us and. See that we need to change, but sometimes I just like to not close my eyes, but just snowboard.
Just like not put all the energy into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because I gotten that question so much, and I'm like, oh, what do I?
I know it's a difficult question. I actually feel that they've never had the same kind of equality, which really doesn't make a lot of sense considering that females probably shop more than males.
Yeah.
And are super impressionable when it comes to like, oh, okay, like Billabong's sick, like I'll go buy that. Or like girls are impressionable and they shop.
Yeah.
And they buy just as much and they consume just as much as males. So it's like, how would they not be an equal part of the athlete programs?
Yeah, you'd think you'd look at your sales for sure and be like, oh, well, women's stuff sell this much, men's stuff sell this. Like, we obviously have to put money in. Like, I totally agree. We do have to put money into female snowboarding to also get, like, us to, like, be better riders and help us, like, improve. I think that's really important. I just like to snowboard.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't like to wrap my head around the politics either because, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty simple and I just want to go snowboarding.
Yeah.
I mean, you can easily, and especially if you do kind of put yourself out there, like I feel like Desiree and Jess and Leanne and stuff, they like to dive into those topics.
Yeah.
And then eventually, if you're like the forefront of that, it's kind of like, then that's who you are. Mm-hmm. And then you're kind of a spokesperson for female snowboarding, and maybe you don't want that responsibility because your focus isn't to be that, it's to go snowboarding. I mean, you have a kid, you're busy.
I am busy.
You're a mom, and you're like blowing up now, and you're also showing that I love that you're an older female with a kid, and you're blowing up now. You're healthy. You're filming, and you're getting invited into X Games. And 5-10 years ago, people would be like, "Oh, you can't snowboard."
No.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like, "Yeah, I can." Like, "Oh, you're gonna move to Canada at 23 or 24 years old and try and learn how to snowboard." And you learn how. You become incredible at it. You have a child. You're an amazing mother. And you turned like well, I don't know if you're not pro in all your brands, but you should be. And you've accomplished all of this. And it's like all of those things are kind of things where I feel like a lot of women would be overwhelmed with like, okay, I have a kid. I can't pursue this anymore. It's like, how do you juggle I feel like you find such a good way of balancing, what you have to do, like being a mom and stuff like that. But still you enjoy so many things. Like you really, I feel like it's the yin and yang, and you're doing it all.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just because I'm a mom doesn't mean I'm like, I love snowboarding, and I feel like snowboarding is it's not just something I do. It's kind of become a lifestyle for me. So not just because I have a kid, but I won't stop doing what I love because of Teo. Like, you just like take him to be part of that. Like he was, he came with me on rail trips when he was like 5 months old, I think. Like
That is amazing.
I was just like, how am I going to make this work? Okay, I got to figure out a way. And like this, whatever you want to do, you can do, and you're going to figure out a way if you really want to.
I mean, it's kind of the most inspiring thing ever. Like, you're a mom and you're fully committed to snowboard. I mean, like, it's easy when you've already blown up and you have the Red Bull logo and you're on Burton and you're making $300,000 a year and you blew up at like 20, and then you have a kid and you're like, oh yeah, I'm juggling it all. It's like you were literally a snowboard, and you loved this thing so much, and you have a kid, and instead of being like, well, I'm just gonna suppress my passion to focus on being a mom, like I think 95% of moms would do, you're like, I love snowboarding so much that I'm just gonna figure out how to make this work for both of us. And you've done that. Yeah. Which is incredible.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. I'm even inspired. I'm smiling ear to ear right now. You're amazing. Like,
well, it's good to show, I think, that you can do it.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I think that I remember I got a lot of comments when I was pregnant, and I was probably a little bit scared, like being pregnant. I was like, what is going to happen? I have no idea. But I am friends of like my parents, and we're like, Maria, if you think you're going to live the same life as you are, you're like, you're kidding yourself. Like, that's not going to happen. And I was like, I remember just like being so annoyed. Like, I was like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, don't tell me how to live my life. Like, I'll just show you how I live my life. And not that it was like, oh, I'm going to show you. I was just like, no, I'm going to do it. Like, I just want to do it. So, it wasn't, I don't know. It's never been like, oh, I don't know how. I was just like, okay, how can I, whatever. Like, I'll figure it out. And it's, I just want other moms to see that I don't want to just be a mom. I want to be me and a mom.
That's the best thing I've ever heard. That's so true.
I have no idea what I just said, but
no, but like you want to be you, like, because you have your own passion and urges, and you have your own desires and goals and ambitions, and you do need, when you have a kid, and I'm speaking for someone who doesn't have a kid, but you do need to suppress some of those to focus on being a good parent. But at the same time, you can't just get rid of those things, or you're going to live the most unfulfilling life ever. Yeah. And someone like you is showing everybody that I'm going to live a fulfilling life, and I'm going to be a mom. And you don't have to sacrifice one to have the other.
No. I mean, I do snowboard less, I think. A little bit less.
Doesn't look like it. Switch front board pretzel and that kink. I mean, like, hot damn. Like, you haven't skipped a beat. Like, I don't know too many homies. Like, I would love to throw, like, okay, who's somebody that's really good at, like, Lucio or, like, you know, any of those mountain kids and be like, go up on the glacier and switch front board this kink. I don't know too many boarders that could just whip that trick out. Like, I get that the switch front board might be one of your tricks, but that's cool. You picked a good one to make your trick. I mean, like, everyone has their staples.
I know.
And you picked an insane trick to be your staple. My trick, when people think of me, they think of a board slide. So, way to go. You picked a way cooler trick. I mean, the amount of times people go like, what? Like Jody board slide, Jody no slide. You know, that's just my life.
Yeah.
You switch front board pretzel? Like, that's and then put a little queen or what is it? A tiara on top of that shit? You're not that type of girl at all. So, like, no.
But you do kind of get sick of your own tricks. Like, I'm like, oh, am I going to do another switch front board pretzel? Like, you know, like, you've seen it, you've done it, and you're like, I don't know. But
people want to see that.
That's what do they?
Yeah, like think of, okay, the best example, and I feel like I've said this before, I say this too much, Andrew Reynolds, frontside flip. Like people want to see that. And it's like Brian Herman, hard flip. People want to see that. Devin Walsh, switch back 5. They want to see that. Nicholas Mueller, like method, they want to, it's like certain people have a trick and it's just like you want to see that trick. Like E-Man, switchback tail. It's like, and if you can make a trick your staple that so many people know, that's like, whoa, that person is like Alex Stathis, cab 270. Like he could do that on anything. You bring him to a quad kink and eventually you're so good at that trick that you go to the most buck spots. Hence why your filmer was like, yo, you should switch front board pretzel into that banked spot that Kuzik did the no slide pop over in Deja Vu Encore. Like, and he's probably knows that you're that good at that trick that it's actually like that's a possibility.
I don't know about
But if you don't have those staples that you're so good at, it's like, and you're kind of wishy-washy on like 10 things, like I would rather have like 5 really strong tricks and then a bunch of like, oh, okay, then like have 25 tricks that you're all okay at. Because once it comes to filming, it's good to have those tricks that you're really confident at.
You're right. Yeah, I guess you do have to do them really good when you want to film a video part.
Yeah, you're going out like this year. It's like you go into like a kink, and you're in Japan because your new sponsor flew you there, and you're part of this project with Jill Perkins, and you know that all happened, and and you're in front of this kink, and it's like the switch front board pretzel is gonna be one of those things that's like, I do this shit all the time, and yeah, when I'm in the park, I'm bored of it. Brian Bowler's bored of it. Like all my homies are bored of it. But this clip's about to be fucked up.
All right.
I'm excited to see it.
Nice. I'm gonna find.
What's the project gonna be called?
I don't know.
Super Mom.
Super Mom. Oh my God, that sounds.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Did I say that I like E-Man too? I really like E-Man's boarding. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, so now I just because we said E-Man a few times.
Yeah,
he's the best.
He's my favorite snowboarder in the world. I think. I think that. I'm not sure, because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to say it because he's like my friend. You know what I mean? But then if I think about all the shit I've seen him do in front of my face, and in front of your face, like riding the park with him, I don't know too many people who have ever been that good for that long and have brought that, like I was saying at the beginning with your whole thing, bringing that element, this whole like kind of new age good trick selection to female snowboarding. E-Man brought like nollie, fakey like tricks and really proper technical tricks to like a very, like there's a few people you could be like, okay, that they were kind of doing that stuff too.
For sure. And he's modest too, and I kind of like that when people like.
Oh yeah, he's kind of like you. He's an underdog. He lets his riding speak for himself.
Mm-hmm. He definitely does that.
He's the best snowboarder I've ever ridden with. I think I can say that. I think I'm going to say that. Yes. And he's never really got that much. He's like I don't know, like a Brian Herman
Yeah.
of skate. Like back in the heyday, I was blown away that he was not making any money, but he didn't want it either. You know what I mean? He was he wasn't into the, Brian talks about this too. Like he wasn't into the whole emailing thing. Like what color of beanie, like do you want to come out with? Like here are the colorways. Like he didn't want to do that shit. He just wanted to snowboard.
But I mean, those people that does that, I think I just think they're cooler.
Yeah.
Like, you know, instead of just being like, look at me, I want this, like, give me money. Like, I'm just like, he's just doing it the right way. Like, and I don't know, you just want to watch him snowboard. Like, they're the best.
And he never like sold himself for riding for a company that he wasn't really like backing or something. You know what I mean? Like if the only thing I would do, like if I was E-Man, is stop wearing Adidas shit. Straight up. Like it's like, to me, his name is like head to toe Adidas for free. I'm like, damn, like I love all those Adidas homies, and what they're doing, the projects they're putting out, the team manager, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it right. They kind of got the similar thing with Vans going on. They do team stuff. It's epic. The projects get made by the right filmers and it's filmed right, and they use good songs. But like, E-Man should just be wearing blank everything, because to me, when I still snowboard with him, I'm like, you are worth a hefty paycheck.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Those tricks over that slow sign, those are some of my favorite tricks filmed like all year. Like he's so good, he can still film stuff on the mountain that I'm like, because it's not like 15 years ago where I loved watching park footage. Yeah. Now it's like an edit comes out, unless it's my friends like you and Brock will put it together, I'm not really going to watch it.
Yeah, totally.
But if E-Man comes out with a park edit, I'm watching that shit.
I agree.
It's like, I don't know too many people who can like ride he can just ride everything too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen him go.
I know.
Do you like his jump style more or his rail style more?
I don't know. He does both so well.
Right?
I wish I could. But yeah, he's just so good.
Yeah. We're both big E-Man fans. But he's never going to be on the podcast, everybody. I've asked him.
He doesn't want to do it?
I don't think he wants to now, but I feel like I'm going to corner him one day. And no, he did tell me he would do it, but I had to do it under a whole ton of stipulations.
Well, it's kind of scary. I don't know. I'd never done a podcast before. I was like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I was like, I could bail out of this.
Yeah, I asked Browner.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, man, I don't know. Like, people don't want to hear me talk about snowboarding anymore and blah, 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 blah. And, like, the stories he had, I was like, these need to be shared. These are the best. He's kind of opinionated, and he knew that he had pretty dope style back then and stuff. And it's I wouldn't say he's got like he's cocky, but he's got a cocky element to him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like E-Man. Yeah. Same thing. You know what I mean? It's like they kind of know they rip.
E-Man's not cocky.
Well, he's not cocky, but like he's definitely not like I don't know, I'm not that good. No, he knows.
No, he earned it. That's just what it is. Like, you know, he earned respect and
yeah. Anyways, Browner was like, hey, no, I'm not doing it. But then I got that filmer, Anthony, lined up, which I thought was really interesting because he's a big, you know, he's the ultimate chiller. Mm-hmm. But, like, the stories he has to share, they're going to be sick. It's kind of going to be like you hanging out with Dogger. I feel like that, like, I can't believe that Dogger filmed all your clips, by the way, still. That's like, I'm tripping on that. That, like, made my day. That and your pad definitely made my day. This beer that you gave me, thank you very much.
I know, it's from the Beer Farmers. Have you ever been up there?
No, what is it?
It's the Pemberton Brewery up the Meadows.
I have never been there.
Oh, it's my go-to. It's beautiful.
For the beer or for just the view?
Both. Like, it's just
Can you dirt bike to it?
I mean, you could. There probably won't be any cups up there, but I usually take my bicycle. Nice. Or my motorcycle. Or not, actually, I don't have a motorcycle. I'm just talking shit now. I borrow my friend's motorcycle.
Well, whatever. I'd borrow it too if I could ride a motorcycle, but I don't have a license, and I'm also terrified to motorcycle.
Oh, it's so
Speaking
fun.
of E-Man, who gets brought up too much on this podcast, but whatever. That's what happens when you're a fucking goat.
We want you on the podcast, E-Man.
He got in a crazy motorcycle accident. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, about a month ago. He fully almost died. You know that new, what's it called?
I don't know what
a
it's called.
Goldwing.
Okay.
He bought a Goldwing on the island, and he drove it back, and he had it for a few days, and then he was driving down to Squamish and Whistler to Squamish is
Yeah.
like, it's a mountain road.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
did it the other
yet
day.
it is a really nice road because they redid it for the Olympics. It's still a windy, crazy road for, wiping out on a motorbike. And he
Totally.
popped his tire going 100, his rear
What?
tire. And he was like, he said it popped and he was like, it's over. Like, I'm totally going to die. And then he was just like, he gripped and then before he knew it, he was flying on his back and then all these people get out of their cars and then they closed the highway down. They had to get an
Wow.
ambulance. And he only I think he broke his thumb and got a cut.
Wow.
But he said while it was happening, he's like, and I'm dead. Like, there's no way I'm not dying. And then he just didn't die.
That's
And we were
fucked up.
talking to him at Demo's house about it. And he was like, he was shook.
Yeah,
And
that's
I've
so fucked
always
up.
been terrified of motorcycle accidents because my dad told me one of his friends that got in one. And it's like in the back of my head, I've always been like terrified. That's not a good way to go about your life. Like, you know
No.
what I mean? Not at all. It's like, what if? But
Well, that's
have you
scary.
ever, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I was scared of motorcycles, but then you ride one. You're like, I don't know. It's just so fun. I actually just drove down I did that highway down from Pemberton to Squamish the other day to see Jess, and we were like, she came and met me, and she was coming on a motorcycle too, and I was like, oh hey Jess, what's up? And we decided we're gonna go for a motor ride here soon, I think. But it's just so fun, so you can't not do it just because you're scared of what could happen. But
No, not at all.
there's definitely when you take the road over to Duffy and stuff towards Lillooet or out Anderson, I know that way where it's more mellow. It's way more that's enjoyable riding. The road down to Squamish wasn't that enjoyable because there's lots of
Traffic.
and lots of trucks and I think I've seen 2 motorcycle crashes that way actually already. Or not this year, but in the last few years, one of them died for sure. So it is a bit
yeah.
scary because you're
For sure.
not super visible, but
I had a friend lose his parents to a motorcycle accident, so that's another thing that just ingrained in my head. It's just you can get in an accident doing.
yeah,
My sister's husband's a pilot, and we were just talking about all those pilots and all those planes in Indonesia. They got a big recall on a bunch of planes. 2
Yeah,
of them
yeah.
crashed or whatever like that. And I ran into another pilot in Vancouver who was talking about why all those problems happened. Mm-hmm. I was just, it was basically they built all these planes knowing the planes had a fault, but they cost so much money to build that the manufacturer still sold faulty planes and they knew that they were faulty.
no.
Yeah.
What?
And then people died. 2 planes crashed because of it.
I used to watch the news all the time and get super sad and involved, and I just feel not that I want to close my eyes to it, I want to know what's going on, but I just I think that I just want to do what I can do. I want to raise my child the best way and be I don't know. I want to think about it, but I also don't want to be there's so much bad stuff. You get depressed about how the world's running today, and I think that I just want to go away from that. I just want to live my life good, but treat the world good.
Yeah. You're already informed enough that if you watch the news and you've already made the decision to okay, I do care, you don't really need to. It's more important for people who don't care to watch the news so they can start caring because you're already caring more than most people. And people get coffee so often.
Yeah.
Every single person on this podcast should have a water bottle and a coffee mug.
Oh, for sure.
And never go anywhere without them because you're going to want a coffee and you're going to want a water.
I know.
And then you never have all that excess waste.
Or we can keep going with plastic bags. There's everything. It's
Oh,
just,
I know. I try and do the better of the two when I get the compostable bag. It costs a little bit more, but is that even good? That's not helping, is it? I don't know. Maybe
I think
it is.
everything small is helping, and it's just you don't need a plastic bag every time. It's just unnecessary stuff, and just be just think about it before you do anything, and then
Is there a consequence to this action? And is it if I do it every day, is it annoying? Because every once in a while, you're going to just need that plastic bag. Mm-hmm. Someone's probably listening to this be like, fuck you. No, you don't. But for me, who's not perfect, I'm slightly shitty, but I'm slightly good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm working at trying to slowly go more and more good. I feel like I'm doing better than some people, but I have a lot of room for improvement. I'm not doing as good as you. I need a garden.
I think everybody can improve in any way. Like, it's just, but it's also hard because I try to not buy plastic, but I'm like, everything is wrapped in plastic. Like, I'm like, I can't get the groceries I need. Like, I try to grow my own, but you can't harvest them in the winter and whatnot. Like, it's like, you can just improve yourself a little bit all the time, but we do need to, like, what we really need to see is, like, improvement for, like, the higher, like, from the people higher
Yeah,
up,
from the higher up. The government needs to make, to enforce things. I mean, California just put a ban on all plastic bags.
Yeah,
I saw
so
Ika
should
just
it
posted
be like that?
And I was like,
totally.
And that's like this huge achievement, but it's like, shouldn't that just be the going rate now?
Yeah, everybody needs to do that. It's like it's just like ridiculous, how we run the world today.
It is. I mean, that's probably why everybody wants to live in Denmark. Everyone's just gotten education and happy. I mean, you did say people are mad at you because you've followed your dreams, but I think that all your friends back home are looking at you now, being like, damn. I mean, yet again, you're not posting enough, so they can't see. So maybe you should be posting every day.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. No, I'm pretty happy I discovered snowboarding and ended up here and not, I don't have like a university degree and working my ass off back home. And
no, I think that you're doing everything exactly the way it should be done, I have to say. And I mean, clearly you've got it going on. You live, like, look where you live. Like, we're looking out our window right now, and this is 10 out of 10. I don't know what's better than this. I mean, other than the free beer you gave me.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for
Do you have any
me.
shout-outs, anybody you'd like to mention? Thank you. I know that's like everyone goes like, ooh, you put me on the spot. But, I mean, you could just say everybody, and then you're good. Or you could be like, you know what, big shout-outs to Mac Dog and Dara Reed.
No. I mean, yeah, for sure, Mac Dog. No, I just want to say thanks for having me. I'm stoked. Stoked you came.
I know the snowboard community cannot wait for you to put out some stuff. And make sure if you're listening to this and you're a team manager, make sure you get those women all intertwined with your team programs, because who doesn't want to see Maria switch front board pretzel king?
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming on, everybody. Have a great day. Drive safe. Peace. Thanks a lot.